Let's go to the top end again. Jamie has Del Worsham.
Del Worsham just went #1. It's hot out today, but it's going to be even hotter this weekend. Is your car going to be ready?
I believe so. Had pretty good history here in the heat so far, and first run today got out there and spun a little bit, but everybody, Alan Navi, Brian, Alan Johnson, they reeled it together, made a great run here tonight, and so far we're #1. One more pair to go. We'll see what happens.
How important is it to have success here this weekend in this stage of the countdown?
Pretty important. I mean, again, it's not the end of the season if you don't, but a couple races into a 6-race series, basically, you know, it'd be a great time for the Alan Navi team to step up.
Doing your best already.
I got Del. And Dell's trying to make it a
that was a heck of a run. That was a heck of a run for Bernstein because they didn't have anything to look at, to tune off of. It's just their own run, and that's what it is. And I thought you were talking about the Tom and Jerry ice cream for a minute that they're going to ban.
Paul, over here, quite a story with Steve Torrance over here, a Texan. This is his home track, and he has been sidelined the last 4 months putting a team together. He's in the left-hand lane here, getting ready to go against Coletta. And this is the first time earlier today when they made the first qualifying session for him to go down the racetrack with a full pull on a brand new race car. And 4 months ago, he said, I had a cell phone and a notepad, and that's all he had. And they have put this team together. Great equipment. They've spent a ton of money. Really excited to see how competitive they may be this weekend.
Another Texan from Kilgore, Texas. Yeah, and it's good to see him back. He has really, he told us this was the route he was going. You take a look at the economy and everything and say, well, good luck, Steve. He got it done. Back to the top end.
Brandon Bernstein, you just had a great run. Did you guys find what you were looking for?
Well, we think so. You know, it's this car, Copart team has done a great job turning this car around. I mean, the last 2 races, we just come up a little short, on great racetracks and great runs. Just competition's really tough these days. So, but that run right there was great, 88. That'll put us right in the mix for tomorrow. So we can step on a little bit in the morning.
I have to ask you, does it have anything to do with the hair?
I doubt it, but man, it's a lot cooler, that's for sure.
It's going to help out this weekend. It's going to be hot.
They brought Dale Armstrong back, at Indy a few weeks ago. And Dale's been gone, 7 years or something like that. And he says, I don't know anything about tuning anymore. Kenny says, look, I just want you to get involved in the mechanical stuff. You're very smart mechanically. You look at stuff, and obviously he figured out a few things with the blower and a few things they were doing wrong. And actually, I think they're going to test here in a week or so. I don't know if anybody's supposed to know it, but.
Oh, that's a secret.
But yeah, so I just blew it.
But don't tell anybody.
Okay, I won't tell anybody other than my best friends. So Dale has already come up with a camshaft he wants them to try. and saying I don't know anything about this anymore, but oh, by the way, why don't you try this camshaft? And I think they're going to test it here next week. It's pretty interesting. But since he just came back just out of the blue on retirement for 7 years, they picked up quite a bit of.
But that's where he was always so good. Just pick out certain sections. Say, okay, this is what we need to do a little bit better. What's it doing here? Okay, this is what I think we need to do to improve performance at this point.
Stat guy on Steve.
Well, just to tag what Gary said, Torrance told me, he said when he lost at Houston in round #1, he said it was about 11:45. He and his family decided then they were going to race their own top hill team. As Gary said, they put it all together. The car looks great. Nice addition to the tour.
Richard Hogan tuning that car.
That's good to see Richard back in the car as well.
It's first-class operation.
Yeah, once you're a good tuner, you're a good tuner. I don't care if you take off 2 years, 3 years. I mean, if you understand the geometry of tuning.
Oh, look at that. 401 for Steve. That puts him, well, if they've got him listed in 11th, that's where he's going to be. I thought that run looked even better than that. Coletta remains in 6th.
Yeah, they went 399 the previous session. The car just kind of labored a little bit. Might have had a cylinder out early in the run and caused it to slow down a little bit. But back to your point, Bill, I like the fact, like you said, a good tuner. Because drag racing, the basics of it has never changed. It's just you make as much horsepower as you can by burning as much fuel as you can, and then you apply that horsepower to the ground to make the car accelerate to the finish line as quick as it go. That has never changed since the beginning of time.
No, but the best guys at it have always been the best guys at it. I mean, you get Tim, Sargent leaving for a couple years, and Kim LaHaye, they retire and they come back, boom, all of a sudden, well, how's Ron Capps doing? And you get Armstrong gone 7 years, comes back in 2 weeks, helps. I mean, it's just amazing to me to see I mean, the next guy he needs Austin Coyle to come back, you know, but he hadn't been gone but 9 months. But when you have knowledge of how a nitromethane motor works and how you create power, because it's not just torque, it's not just horsepower, it's the whole, you know, the whole thing, and it's putting it to the ground, like you said, and they just seem to never forget it.
Now, you used to be a driver tuner. We've talked about Mike Neff all year, the fact that he's a driver tuner, and obviously Tim Wilkerson. When you retired from driving, did you ever think about coming back as a tuner, crew chief?
No. No. I tuned all the years I raced, 18 years, except the last 6 months. I hired Dave Settles 6 months before I retired because I had other businesses and I was getting too busy, and I blew myself up too many times at the last because I was kind of a mad scientist. The longer
you were aggressive. You were about as aggressive as anybody I've ever seen out there on the tune-up, and fearless.
Yeah, I tried a few too many things, and so when I didn't have time to try as many things and blow up as much stuff, I hired Dave Settles, but I mean, that was the fun part of it, actually, more because, as you know, you drove forever. I mean, it's fun when you start, but after a while, it's a job. You know, it's no different than driving a jet airplane. I mean, it's cool, and then all of a sudden, then you're just flying. And so, but the tuning is different every run. You know, but I think it helped a whole lot in that era when you didn't have all of the knowledge and all the computer stuff, and we had some data recording. To be the driver and be able to give input on the car was a lot different than today.
Yeah, good days. Hey, let's go back up the top end. Jamie has Steve Torrence.
Yeah, Steve Torrence, debut of a new team, a new car, 2 rounds into qualifying. Has everything come together the way you planned?
You know, it's been a whirlwind for the last 4 months trying to get this team up and running, but Richard Hogan, Brian Shipman, these guys, I can't thank them enough. My mom and dad, they've been Capco contractors. Everybody's been just directly behind us. So, you know, it's coming together really well. We'll just kind of see how it goes for the rest of the weekend, but we're just happy to be here.
A lot of hard work gone into this. We're happy to see you.
The standings then in Top Fuel. 2 sessions done for everybody now as Steve Torrence and the crew climbs in the car, ready to go back to their pits. Del Worsham, followed by Tony Schumacher, Brandon Bernstein, Larry Dixon, Bob Vandergriff, Doug Coletta. Troy Buff in the top 8 is rounded out by Spencer Massey. That's an interesting lineup.
Take a look at 9 through 12. You see Grubby, Langdon, Steve Torrence, who we just talked to in that 11th spot. Hot Rod Fuller in that 12th and final transfer position with a 4 flat.
Oh, and check this out. Those who are not yet in the field includes our winner from last week, Antron Brown. It also includes Terry McMillan and Morgan Lucas. Well, that's it from our little, our tiny little and high-tech booth, as you can see here. Relaxed style is Gary and Dave, Stat Guy, Mike, everybody is here. Billy, we got to thank you.
Sure, appreciate it.
First of all, it's a great facility. Love coming down here. Love the Texas hospitality, and we're looking forward to a great race on Sunday.
Yeah, we are too. Obviously, we're excited. It's probably, I don't know if it's the first or second time in the last 12 years that we've actually had an event without rain in the forecast. So it's a whole lot different experience for us, just kind of relaxed.
Well, like you said, the drought worked for you.
Yeah, right now it is. And it's rained probably 5 inches this year in Texas.
Wow.
And normally 35, so we just hope it starts flooding next Wednesday.
Well, as they say in the movies, as the sun sets in the west, we're done with our pro qualifying here at the Texas Motorplex for the AAA Texas Fall Nationals. And back in the pits right now, they are getting ready for tomorrow. We'll have coverage of all of the qualifying Saturday night at 1:15. Then we'll have our final coverage, just like we will for the remainder of the countdown of the championship, the remainder of the year, be at 7 o'clock on Sunday night. Well, Ron Capps after his run. Yeah, see you, Ron. Thanks for coming. Good to have you playing here with us. Yeah, now we got the first wave. Hey, thanks, everybody, for joining us here on ESPN3, and we'll see you same kind of deal next Friday night.